Wait a minute, we might be getting a Boruto related movie? What's going on here? Okay people, in case you ain't know, recently there was an interview and a sit down with the voice of Naruto where they basically spoke about a variety of different things, but one of the main things that a lot of people have been really excited about is the fact that the Japanese voice mentioned that she was working on the continuation of the Boruto anime. And that's definitely something that you got to think about, because wait a minute, so if the Boruto anime is returning, what does that mean exactly? Because despite the fact that yes, there is a continuation sequel series called Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, which is essentially a time skip, ultimately where the Boruto anime left off, Boruto Naruto Next Generations, there was still a lengthy amount of content that was left to adapt. Because if I'm not mistaken, there was quite a few chapters of the OG Boruto just before it went into the time skip that never made it to the anime. So regardless of what, when the Boruto story does return to its anime form, one of the major things that is going to be a part of this is the fact that they have to go back to those chapters. And considering the fact that the Boruto series is not a standard manga where, you know, you get weekly chapters, those chapters are filled with a lot of content. And I say all that to say, well, based on word that we got from this interview with the Japanese voice actress of Naruto, there might actually be a Boruto film on the way. And if not a Boruto film, then definitely something interesting is happening behind the scenes that most people don't know about. Because during the sit down, yes, it was revealed that the Japanese voice actress has already been working on the Boruto anime's continuation. However, well, let's read. And of course, before we continue, if you would hit that subscribe button and that bell, I'd greatly appreciate it. You'd be able to get updated on everything in the world of anime and manga, and of course, what's going on with the Boruto Naruto franchise. Because right here it says, Boruto anime sequel is underway. The voice for Naruto says voicing the character in the new sequel is a lot of work. However, she also added, we've started and are currently paused, referring to voicing characters. Now, what does that mean? Because again, if you go back to it, essentially the way the Japanese do their anime with the voice acting is usually they make sure that the animation is in front of them and then they kind of do their thing moving forward, opposed to how it is in the West where it's basically they do the voices first and then ultimately the animation comes after the fact. So there's some type of stuff already ready to go there, but at the moment it's essentially paused. Then you got to question, like, could that possibly mean that they finished off doing the stuff from Boruto Naruto Next Generations and then they're taking a break before they jump straight into the sequel series? Because the way the Boruto OG manga ends off, it basically does a lot of really significant things that change the course of the story, changes who is involved in the story, and a lot of different aspects. So it could very well be that pretty much they adapted what would be essentially the final chapters that remain of the Boruto Naruto Next Generation story before it got to 2 Blue Vortex. And putting that all into perspective, it could very well mean the following. It could, of course, just simply mean that they got 12 episodes ready to go. The first season is going to happen. It's going to be called Boruto Naruto Next Generations Part 2, or it's going to be the beginning of 2 Blue Vortex, or it could very well be that this is going to be compacted into a film, which would make a lot of sense. Essentially, it would pretty much revitalize the franchise's name to the public. Also, because Naruto Uzumaki, one of the most popular characters of the franchise, hello, started off with Naruto, is heavily involved still in the story for that bunch of chapters. It could be essentially marketed with, while yes, it's still technically a Boruto film, yo, for all the people that really love Naruto Uzumaki, get ready to see what's about to happen with him. Which, despite the fact that yes, the story has gone on and went into, you know, the Boruto realm in terms of its Boruto story and whatnot, ultimately Naruto is still a major player in this thing, and ultimately it is a business at the end of the day. And yeah, I got to imagine that they want to make the biggest possible impact utilizing some of the characters that people really love. And with Naruto and Sasuke and some of those characters still being involved towards the end of part 1, it would be a perfect thing to release it as a film. Now, the scale of this film, that's another question entirely. Would it be something that would be theatrical, or will it simply be something that would be, think back to the Boruto Boyhood arc where Boruto went back in time and it was released essentially like a special, but realistically that Boruto arc felt like it should have been a film. So they could very well be going that direction as well of, again, it's more so going to be like a TV film, marketing it, utilizing Naruto, Sasuke, and of course the next generation, kind of a passing of the torch, so to speak. Yeah, we could very well be getting a Boruto movie. As always, people, have an awesome day.